Robert family, welcome to the official AEW Revolution 2022 review, a pay-per-view that had a lot of surprises. It has a lot of great matches, probably one of the best, if not the best, Revolution, Paul. And, we're going to be talking about everything that happened there. We got to see CM Punk and MJF with the collar match. We got to see Jericho and Kingston. Out of all the matches, which one is your favorite one?
Well, to say which one, I like the most, hooked me the most, looking back on it, it's almost 24 hours later. A lot to digest, a lot to take in, but, come on, the dog collar match. That was the best feud up to this point. That was the thing that really, hey, what did we say? That's really the main event, no matter, I even said in my exact words,
Yes.
no matter where you put it on the card, that's the main event. That's the match that people say, I'm buying the ticket for this show. That's the one they wanted to see. And, that to me, that still holds true. But, fantastic match, almost like an NXT takeover between Adam Cole and Hangman Page. So they had a great match. Danielson and we're going to get into it all,
Exactly.
But again,
so
AEW, great job.
Into it. So, family, thank you so very much for being with us. We love you. We appreciate you. Don't forget to keep supporting us. We always have, the best wrestling content here on the original Raw Break. And, like Paul says, AEW Revolution 2022 begins with Eddie Kingston and Jericho. Feud over, Kingston just trying to separate the inner circle, just throwing some shades, throwing some, hey guys, he's not as good as you guys think he is. And the match quality, I think it was pretty great. And Kingston also, for me, he had one of his best matches. And Jericho actually lost a lot of weight. He looked in shape finally. I guess, everybody, those comments really hurt him. So he's like, okay, I'm going to really think about this. I'm going to be in shape. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be the Jericho that, Kingston wanted to, see. So it was good. I enjoyed it. And the best thing about it is, we got to see Jericho doing all the finisher moves that he has. But yet Kingston survived absolutely everything.
Yeah, he survived, the code breaker. He got in the wall to Jericho, but he made the ropes. And I like it, that interaction when, Aubrey breaks it and then Jericho pushes her and she looks at him like, who the hell are you? And, pushes him. And then he looks at her they have, the good chemistry, They've been, she's been reffing most of his matches even back when he was champion. So, they have that good chemistry, almost like Earl Hebner, how he would.
Yeah, right here is surviving the code breaker. Like you said, he did the moon, lion salt, all of those things. And like you said, for example, Kingston,
and even Kingston,
biting, doing all the stuff that Eddie Kingston is known for, being just the brawler, all kind of false count anywhere, just being this type of guy that would do whatever it takes just to get that win. Because according to Jericho, he could never win the big one. So that was the main thing, the task at hand. That was the thing.
And then, I like he hit his finish, the spinning back fist, but no, that didn't put him away. But then at the end of it, what was it? 2 spinning back fists. And then did he hit some? And then, then the choke here. And Jericho actually taps out, because he's cranking on that injured neck. He yanks on it. Jericho doesn't tap. Then he yanks on it again, maybe a third time, whatever, till Jericho taps. And see, that's not it's one thing to get pinned, but it's a little bit more humiliating when you actually have to tap out and submit to a guy. So he did that to Kingston. That was a way to put him over. And then after the match, the whole thing was Jericho said, if you beat me in the middle of that ring, I'll shake your hand. So Kingston goes, let's do it.
Did he say I'm going to acknowledge you or shake the hand?
I don't know if he actually said acknowledge me. And
he probably can't even say acknowledge because of
it looks almost like he looks almost like Paul. Yeah,
he
looks almost like Paul Heyman, instead of Roman Reigns there a little bit with the bald in the belly, but he doesn't shake his hand.
You can tell right there the belly and the almost non-belly over here.
Yeah, Jericho's looking good, but yeah, and then he says, "Screw you, I'm not shaking your hand." He walks out of there, so we got to see maybe this storyline's going to continue. We're going to see something, but good opening match.
Exactly, and this was like you said, that's how you book a match. That's how you book the first awesome bout of your pay-per-view, especially a Revolution. That is one of the main ones that AEW has. Let's go now to the Tag Team Championship. It was a triple threat match. Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy going against Red Dragon, and of course the Young Bucks. Good match, and see, in this one, of course, they have to give us everybody has to look good. That's the main point of the first point. And everybody thought there was going to be a title switch here. Because Jurassic Express to be the champion. Am I right or no?
And you know what? They did change their names. They're no longer the Jurassic Express. When they came out, what's his name? Smiley Roberts, he called them, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. That's what's here on the graphic. I guess the Jurassic Express, they're splitting that up because the rumors is eventually when this run is over. Marco Stunt done, and then when this eventually runs its course, Jungle Boy is definitely going to get a singles run. I think get ready for him. He was the guy in this match who, he was the one who was taking a lot of the offense, getting beat up. The two elite teams, or whatever you want to call them, the buddies, they kind of teamed up when they would, but then there'd be moments where, Bobby Fish was going to be able to score the pinfall, but the Bucks broke it up, so it's like, okay, we'll help each other out, but we're not going to let you win either. So that whole thing kind of kept every team in this match for the longest time. And like you said, just a lot of spots. I mean, countered like a choke slam into a Canadian destroyer or some kind of move Luchasaurus does or something. All the craziness that they always do.
Yeah, they did like the double, like a bit trigger, like the Young Bucks. You get to see that. We got to see the high-low from like Red Dragon. I wanted them to win because it would have been a lot better.
Funny. Everybody was calling for, us included. We said, we even said it. Can we agree that there's no way that Jurassic Express walks out of here with the belt? And we both said yes, but that's when they pulled the Swerve.
We all claim him here. We wanted the title switch. Absolutely, but in the end, they did a Jurassic Express, like he's like a chokeslam him to like a power bomb, and then they were able to pin Matt Jackson. I think it was. They retained those titles, and like you said, it's a new formation because I don't know if Christian is still aligned with them, or also like you said, Marcus is completely out of AEW, and also like out of this group because again, everybody complained that he was the weakest link, and very probably did that for because of that reason. So, I mean, am I happy? The tag team champions are not that credible, at least for me. I would much rather Red Dragon, but, Paul, whatever is best.
The only thing I will say is, I would say now these guys move past the Lucha Bros and FTR as tag team champs, or maybe they're tied with FTR, because I'm like, these guys, they actually now at least have a credible tag defense. The Lucha Bros, they won the belts and did nothing with them and then lost them.
Did they ever defend it on pay-per-view? I don't think so.
No.
See, that's what I mean. Yeah, they didn't do it. They never did. So like you said, I see at least the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, they do have a title defense on that is credible. Like I said, two of the greatest tag teams, in we will say not WWE, but at least in the whole wrestling world, like in Red Dragon and also like the Young Bucks. So that was really cool. Tell me a little bit about like the ladder match because we had great competitors here. Keith Lee debuted on pay-per-view on AEW. We had like Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Christian, Orange Cassidy. A lot of guys. It's very mixed because we had like three powerhouses in Lee, Wardlow, and Hobbs, but then also like three guys that like could be like more like agile or like flexible, high flying. Christian, the guy that like pretty much put this ladder match on the map outside of Michaels and also like Chico. But I enjoy this, and I mean the right winner here. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I like this as well. Though I mean, I was saying, Keith Lee needs to win this. I think, but a storyline that they touched on, a couple of weeks ago, kind of ties in with the winner here. But I mean, this thing, Orange Cassidy, you put in here because he's the fan favorite. He's, the comedy guy, whatever. I guess he sells some sort of tickets, merch for these people, so they put him in there. Ricky Starks to me was the one who I honestly thought was going to win this.
Look at this, Paul. Have we not seen this on it?
Yeah. I was gonna say, look. I mean, you can't copyright like a camera shot, but I mean, this was clearly Keith Lee was like, "Hey, this thing popped for me in NXT, so let's do it here."
You guys do that for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Christian was in this thing. I feel like I said the veteran of this to lead this match. The main three you cared about were the three big powerhouses. Anytime they were interacting with each other, he was
probably guiding them. Don't you think? Somebody got
I mean, the only spot that I really hated out of everything was when Orange Cassidy did the tornado thing with the ladder around his neck, and everybody had to walk into it himself.
He got injured, and it's not that like we want Orange Cassidy to get injured, but this type of matches are so high risk. And did you love this? That was a great spot. Super flex powerhouse. Like he got a great showing. At some point, he needs to get pushed. To a main event status.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I thought Ricky Starks was just gonna somehow like not screw Hobbs out of winning, but you saw a couple times when they climbed up the ladder and then they're like, oh no, and then they started duking it out because it's like, hey, only one of us wants to win this. Is gonna win this thing. But I mean, then this spot here, when both of them got taken out, that's when I thought, okay, no, now Keith Lee ain't winning this thing. So my immediate thought was Ricky Starks because he was my as I was watching this whole match unfold, my sleeper pick was Ricky Starks. I thought, no, they're gonna do it to Starks, but at the end of this thing, we see here, Mr. Mayhem, whatever they call him, or is that Lance Archer, whatever, Wardlow here.
Wardlow, yes, it is Wardlow.
Wins it. Yeah, Wardlow wins it. And this kind of tied in earlier because he said, "Oh, I'm going to win this," and MJF said, "Yeah, but you're going to give that belt to me because I own you. So when you win that TNT Championship, it's mine."
Yes.
So maybe that's why we didn't see no title change.
Because,
I think it's going to this guy.
He's becoming a babyface is starting to take shape. The more and more we see this, so this is good. I enjoy this, and I mean, like you said, I wouldn't much rather maybe Keith Lee, but again, at least it's somebody different, so it's good, and it makes sense because they're pushing this guy. So it's no surprise that like he's actually being better than everybody else. Keith Lee will have his opportunity at some point. I hope they.
I mean, Keith Lee. I mean, I love. I mean, any gold would be great, but I mean, to me, he should. It's just a shame that you brought in a lot of these guys that are baby faces and your champion's a baby face.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Keith Lee should be going after the world title. There's no reason he should be in the mid card.
Yeah, I agree with you. So like we'll see, man. And then they got the Bask in His Glory. They did that. So like there's a lot of people that love Keith Lee. He has a lot of haters, but I feel that like the ones that like love him overpower the other ones. And so that was really cool. Tell me a little bit about AEW, right? We still have money, right? We still have cash. It doesn't matter how much gas prices are. $4.50, $5, $6, $7, you name it. Whatever state you live in, you have your own share of that. And Isaiah Stickerling now, former Isaiah Swerve Scott is part of AEW. That was cool. This is how. What is this? Is this house or?
Yeah. I mean, he was over. I don't know where Tony Schiavone was calling his matches, but I mean that's kind of cool, I guess. Before he joined NXT, and then he comes in. He's like, I just got one question. Whose house? And then everybody Swerve's house, and he's like, one more time, and they Swerve's house. He's like, all right. He's like, I love you all. And
I love you, Rob Rigg. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, this was good. This is good.
Root for you, love is a strong.
I mean,
word,
I like Swerve Scott, or whatever his Swerve Strickland, whatever his name is. Mr. Strickland from King of the Hill. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, exactly.
But, no, I mean,
yeah,
exactly. I mean, this is a good signing for them, but he's got to be that cocky heel that we saw, in the end of his WWE run, and kind of the way he's presenting himself here. Don't be a babyface, even if the people like you. Let that feed your ego. Don't be a babyface with it.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. Like he needs to be a heel.
He's gonna main event GCW. He's gonna the main event, and then coming events when like Joey Janela is gonna go against Sean Wallman. I think he's gonna Isaiah is gonna be also representing there. Too many signings. I don't, it's like way too much.
Well, the only thing now, if we see a lot of people get let go or not get their contracts renewed, if we see that, you know what I mean? Like they keep adding more people on top, but all the people on the bottom get let go, and then the pile goes down. Then I'm okay with
Vince McMahon, like Paul said, trimming the fat. Vince McMahon will say the dead weight. So there you go. And but the one thing is WWE, that's the announcement. They go, hey, there's wishes, blah, 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 good luck in your future endeavors. While AEW quietly let them go. That's the one thing. Quietly, there's no big announcement because they don't want people to really find out what's going on, which is okay. As a company, you have your own way to deal with this type of things. So good stuff. And Isaiah Strickland, Swerve Scott, welcome to AEW, Paul. Let's go to this one. This was for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill go against Tay Conti. Jade, the outfit was really cool. I really like this, going the Mortal Kombat way. That was extremely good. And Tay Conti, I mean, a lot of shade on her because of the Tammy thing. The match was pretty, decent at most. I mean, I did like the ending of it, but hey, there you go. For the ones that love a little bit of extreme right here, good on that. There you go. We got a tope from Tay. There you go, a little bit of cake. Hey, thank you, Sammy, for that. But in the end, remember she was trying to go for another moonsault, and then Jade catches her, and then she does the glam slam, 1, 2, 3. Did we think that Jade was gonna lose the championship? No. That girl is aside of Baker. Their two are on fire.
Now, I gotta be honest with you. This was the match when this came on, and then the Anna Jay and the Mark Sterling and I knew it was just gonna be a cluster, and everybody was gonna get involved. So I'm like, all right, this one I'm gonna go get some coffee and everything.
Yes.
When did that of course I missed the famous kiss. Was that when was that the middle of the match?
That was the beginning of it.
It was the beginning?
Yeah, that was the beginning.
Then I missed that.
Yeah, it's you were just watch the entrance because it was cool though. Kitana is right, Paul. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's Kitana?
Jade. No, Jade from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Jade, there you go. Yeah, I'm sorry. Kitana is the purple one. Yeah, there you go. See, I did play Mortal Kombat for the ones, but that was the beginning because they were about to square off, and then just Jade would grab her and kiss her, and then also Tay did another kiss later on in the match. Like you said, it's a little cluster. They needed somebody because the TBS Championship is important. First. Second, Jade is on fire. So why would you not have that champion on the pay-per-view? or in the pay-per-view. So they needed that. Slam, 1, 2, 3. The girl is still on fire. That's fine. Now, Paul, get excited because we're going to talk about something that you loved it. You said it is the main event, and I agree with you. The rivalry per se is way more important than the title. Why? Because they actually did a better job presenting this than like the title match. CM Punk, MJF. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the entrance is cool. You know, you hear Cult of Personality. Just kidding. It's MJF. He comes out. You know, it's his music plays. Then CM Punk. And I got to be honest with the people. I didn't know his old Ring of Honor music. When I first heard this, I thought this was the Terminator theme.
Yes.
Yes. I'm like, okay, Terminator? I'm like, is this Kenny Omega? Is he coming out? Like, what's going on here? But then I heard it, and when I saw the different gear, and then, you know, thankfully Excalibur is a mark, and he, you know, fills in all of us non-marks what's going on. And then, you know, they said like kind of the old Ring of Honor gear and everything, you know, harkening back to those days.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the one, that's, you know, the CM Punk that MJF was a fan of.
Yes, and also Punk, like that's the CM Punk that had like a previous Dog Collar match. Mm-hmm. So like they had a picture I saw on the social media, like they have like, you know, this one a sign of the lined up with the one from like Ring of Honor, so it was cool. And CM Punk, at least, see, he knows how to sell himself out of anybody, you know that, Paul. Like he knows how to like create buzz. It was cool. And at the beginning, you know, CM Punk like start bleeding. This was good though. Like when he started beating up with the, you know, with the chain and everything. I enjoyed this. And you know, like I said, like the psychology of the match was really, really on point. You know, like selling at the beginning, then he goes back. Did you like MJF? Like how he almost wins. I enjoyed this for what it was. You know, blood. It was what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, this match, like you said, it was. I'm surprised CM Punk got. Yeah, I mean, he must just be a bleeder. Like they say, some people are just bleeders. Like when they get one cut.
How to cut.
Yeah, or when they get one, because I mean, what we saw, you know, 2 weeks ago or whatever that was.
No, it was on Wednesday.
Oh well, yeah, and then you know, we see here, you know, it's just what the heck, you know, and even JR said, could you imagine if they stopped this match? Because even JR was thinking, how much blood can this guy lose? But eventually, then he stopped bleeding. It all coagulated. He could, you know, actually wipe his face off and see. But I mean, no, this match, you know, it was great. It was brutal, and it was one of those things where, you know, you didn't want it to end, but you knew it was gonna end, and it was just, you know, we said for the longest time, oh, MJF needs to win this. But then when they did that other match and MJF beat him, MJF could say, oh, I beat you twice. And it's like, no, you really only beat me once. And CM Punk wins here. You know, now they got to have a blow-off match, you think, right?
I mean, if they want to keep going, they will have to be the third one if they have to do a series of matches.
Or because I don't know if, to me, you know, and we're going to go lead into the finish here, you know, or I guess we'll just mention it now. Eventually, you know, MJF, he calls for Wardlow.
Yes.
You know, Wardlow, get down here. And, you know, Wardlow, he's already in his suit, probably going to go to the, you know, hotel lobby and bang a few rats. You know, he's the new face of the revolution, you know, whatever. Right. So he comes down there and he's like, give me the ring. And he's feeling it in his pocket. He's like, oh.
This right here, Paul, before you carry on. Yes. Like, here was like the GTS. So, like, but see how fun that was, or like how cool, because he does the GTS and then MJF falls into the thumbtacks.
Oh, yeah. When MJF brought in the thumbtacks. Yes.
And there you go. You wanted like Wardlow right there. And like he calls for the ring. And then he actually gives the ring to CM Punk and not MJF. So pretty much the betrayal. And I think the relationship is over. But we will see everything coming to fruition on Dynamite.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. But I don't know if you just do MJF into Wardlow. And then you know, maybe you touch on the CM Punk feud a little later on. Or do they have one more match? That's interesting to see, but no, I mean, to me, you know, Wardlow turning babyface, winning the face of the revolution, you know, this CM Punk getting a great win, you know, the crowd was into it. The crowd, you know, with him coming out the way he did in this match, he needed to win. So even though it maybe wasn't the guy who I would have booked beforehand, you know, after seeing this match, I'm glad, you know, he got the win here. It's interesting to see what all these guys do.
Yeah, especially the three of them have like a pretty interesting path, because like you said, just like logically, MJF will have to go to Wardlow because Wardlow is the one costing him the match. But if they want to do another one and be like, okay, let's first out of the three matches, who's the guy, there will be another one. But we'll see. Or like you said, maybe CM Punk just goes now. It maybe can be the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Maybe. It's about time. And easily CM Punk after this can turn heel. You know, easily. And then it will be, okay, Page, it's been your time. Okay, done. But we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, I would love. The only time I would turn him heel is like you said, when he becomes champion, because heel Punk champion is so great.
Yes, yeah, the promo work and also like the way that like he can actually escape from like being pinned or like
no one he'll turn heel right when Jeff joins the company.
Yeah, well, like no, supposedly Jeff is coming on Dynamite, so there you go. Like supposedly he's about to sign the contract, so he's coming on Dynamite, so that's really cool. Now let's talk about the girls' poll, because that was a great match, and for me, like you said, the match of the night was like CM Punk and MJF, just because of the feud it's on its own. This was supposed to be the continuation of what we saw in the Lights Out, towards December. And this didn't happen to be as good as it was before. Dr. Britt Baker DMD against Thunder Rosa. The great thing here was like the new championship belt. Look how pretty that is. Going old school, like the Mid-South from like the 1969, 72, around that, in the Mid-South, like wrestling. How beautiful that title is. I love it, like everything in gold. Like not like blue, not like red, not all of that trash. Titles need to be gold, right? That's what it's like. We fight for the gold, right? So what do you think about this match?
Yeah, I mean, the match, it was good, but I'm going to watch it, and how many times can we watch them wrestle? And I like both these women. The belt was good, and I'm thinking, okay, she comes out there, she has her entourage, everybody else, and it's the same song and dance.
Yes.
And you think, okay, but as soon as but I thought, you know what, no matter what, at least Thunder Rosa is going to win this thing, right? And then when they showed that new belt, and they like almost no-sold it. She comes out there with the belt, and one of them on commentary just says, oh yeah, Britt Baker has a new belt. And it's like, there was no big thing before the match.
Yeah.
They're like, Triple H, when they did all the new belts and whatever, they always presented them, like, oh, here's the new championship belt. Like, you made it something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and then I thought, oh, man, are they really going to give Britt Baker a new belt for, what, a half an hour, and then she's going to lose it? No way.
They did that with Hikaru Shida, so.
Yeah, but, I mean, I thought, there's no way that they're going to do that here with, her. And, she gets the win, and it just sucks because how many times can we see this match? And, you can touch on any big spots or anything you like, but how many times can we see this matchup? It's like the boy who cried wolf. Oh, she'll get her this time. No, she won't. This is like the fifth, sixth time I saw it. It's like,
it's a problem because with Davis, there's not a lot of believable baby faces. We've said that for the longest time. We don't know who's going to be next. And this was the match that Thunder Rosa needed to win because Thunder Rosa lost to Jade for the TBS Championship. So that's a huge loss. Again, now same thing. So she can get the championship match, but she never wins. She tried with Deonna Purrazzo on Impact. Never won. So
and you have no baby faces built up because both your champions are heels.
Yes.
So the only people that are challenging for these belts are baby faces, and you're beating all of them. So you have no credible ones built up.
Yes, that's the thing. And like you said, I mean, the spots were like
because who are the three strongest women in this division? Britt Baker, because she's the main champ. Jade, because she's a second champ, and then the next one is Serena Deeb, who's also a heel. So your top three women are all heels.
Yeah, because you have like if you want to make it like that, top like, it will be Serena, like Britt and Jade, on the heel side, and then you have like Thunder Rosa, you have Ruby Soho, and you have Hikaru Shida. That all of them have been beaten by Britt.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Ruby Soho in how many weeks? So she's. Like
well, after the thing that she got on the GCW, I think that was done. But like it was okay, and especially the way that like Britt won it, and the Rose is coming back to the ring. It's kind of like you can do this on PlayStation. You can do it in the game. You're coming back to the ring, and then she does the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. She retains. Fine. The match was what it was. But like we need they bring so many guys in and bring more girls. That's the one. We haven't seen a big signee on AEW for like after Soho.
I don't think because there isn't any.
Yeah, I mean about like Mia. It could be Mia Yim. Somebody at least that like we can believe that they're gonna build up as a credible baby face instead of like Riho. Where Ruby like had the chance lost and all of that. So we'll see what happens. Maybe even Mercedes Martinez. Maybe. I mean, if they do that, but I don't know if she will be a good baby face. We'll see what happens, Paul. Let's talk about a match that, like you said, it wasn't that long, but it was like a great match, and especially because it brought us like another surprise. Jon Moxley and Danielson. I remember you saying that Danielson needed to win because Moxley is fine, winning, losing. He's still gonna have a big fandom. There's still gonna be a lot of people cheering for him. But the match I really enjoyed, and they said we're gonna bleed, and they did.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where I didn't know. The ending wasn't anything I would have ever predicted. And if you would have told me, well, hey, this is going to happen at the end, then I would have said it don't matter who wins. You could have raised the ref's hands at the end and could have said the ref pins both of them. It didn't matter who won this thing. because of the ending, which we'll get to. But I mean, this was great. You know, Danielson, he tried to toy with Moxley like he does with the other guys, some of these younger guys who he's gone against, the Moriartys and, you know, the Garcias and even Hangman, where he rolls to the outside and he tries to toy with you. But no, you can't get in Moxley's head like that. So they were selling that story. He just wanted to fight, wanted to brawl. And, you know, Moxley, this was definitely one of his better matches. You can obviously thank Danielson for that. Right? Yeah, exactly. Danielson's a magician, you know. He'd probably take you and me to a 3-star match, you know. I mean, he's just such a good, great professional wrestler. And, I mean, I honestly thought he was going to win this thing. But like I said, I mean, we can talk about the match, you know. But, you know, guys, I'm sure you've all seen the pay-per-view. If not, you know, what the heck are you doing? You know, thanks for watching Rope Break. That's what you're doing. But,
right.
You know, the one thing, yeah, exactly. But, I mean, the ending wasn't important here.
Right here.
Yeah, Moxley, he just got this, you know, it was like a weird pin. Danielson, you know, he didn't even know who won. And then it was almost booked like a WWE match you see on Monday Night Raw, where somebody wins and right after it's over, they start brawling and you don't even talk about the winner. And then, you know, because the aftermath happens and the winner's not important. But then we see William Regal, and we heard reports that he was maybe going to go to Impact, help out there. So I guess maybe that deal fell through, or maybe he's going to do double duty. We don't know. But, you know, he showed up here. He gets in both guys' faces. He kind of says, "What the hell are you doing?" You know, and they kind of like shake hands here. So you saw them bleed together. You know, he helped train both these guys, you know, and now you think, hey, is this going to be a stable here? And the one thing I want to propose to you, so online, William Regal, he might look old, but I think they said 10 years younger than Stinger. So he's, you know, I think WWE told him when he had his little run in NXT and everything against Cesaro and all that. I think they told him after that, dude, this ain't your place to, you know, relive your glory days. You're done. And that they kind of shut the door on that. But AEW, I mean, with what we're going to talk about with Sting in a little bit, I think they'll see him wrestle. And I mean, I would love to see some of these matches that he could have with
William Regal is on another level. William Regal is just a guy that like screams professional wrestling.
Every time you see a segment with him, when he's on Monday Night Raw, he did some goofy shit, you know, the kiss in the butt and all that stuff. But when but when he's on, you believe it's real. You don't watch it and go, oh, this is fake.
And you know, it's so cool that like we covered like his son's work now with Charlie Dempsey, you know, in NXT UK. So like this guy, William Regal, deserves all the praise in the world. And I will tell you, he's one of the guys that like it sucks and it's sad that he was never world champion. Because he says, because of my own shenanigans, I was never world champion, because he was great. You know, you said even I'm doing goofy shit.
And here, go back to the picture. Look at the size of this guy.
Yeah,
look at him.
I don't think he's out of shape, so we'll see. I mean,
he makes both of them look like he could, you know, still kick him. I mean, he's just a big, broad man. He looks like he could kick the shit out of both of them.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, like what I'm saying to you. Remember when he won King of the Ring in 2008? He was overweight over there. You could see the gut and everything, but now I feel he puts a little bit of work. You know, we can't forget about the William Regal manager of NXT, but like this is great. This is a great addition because again, and William Regal was WCW also, so there's still those like remember Lord Steven Regal, all of that. So he did both. Yeah, it's fine. And hey, he can also give ideas. He can be producer. He can be all of that mastermind that will help shape NXT. Now he can put out on AEW.
Well, you got to think all these guys who
or Ring of Honor, Paul. Ring of Honor. Easily, Paul. Hey, the new manager of Ring of Honor, William Regal. You know, the new GM, I'm sorry.
And all these guys who you bring in.
Yeah.
Everybody from Red Dragon, you know, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, all these guys. Hey, who is, you know, legit who helped you over there? Oh, man, Regal. You got to bring in Regal. Okay.
Yeah. And it's like you said, and all these guys see in Regal the morale of the locker room. They say that is really good, but
because Regal was never a WWE guy, he was a Triple H guy.
Yes,
he was like, oh, I'm Triple H. You know, he wasn't like a Shawn Michaels who was a WWE guy or nothing like that. He was a Triple H guy. Triple H's thing was done. He's like, hey, Hunter, sorry, but peace. You know, I'm out. Exactly. Well, I mean, they fired him, but he was like, hey. You know, I'm going.
Exactly. So good stuff, good addition for William Regal, and he's the new member of All Elite Wrestling. So really good. So you said we're going to talk about an old man diving, an old 62-year-old man, like putting bearing more talent in the Butcher and the Blade. There you go. We got to see Matt Hardy, Andrade El Idolo. I don't know why he should take the idol. There's no idol here. You know, he sucks.
No.
He's in his worst state right now. Isaiah Cassidy, and against these guys, Darby Allin, Sting, and Sammy Guevara. Did you like the match? For me, I knew this was like they put it in this particular place. Why, Paul? Because like you said, this is the recovery time after great matches. Danielson and also like Moxley, CM Punk, and MJF. They need to do this just because hey, we need to get ready for the main event. It was okay. We had to see good spots right here. The suplex on Andrade and right here like the Spanish Fly with Isaiah Cassidy and Sammy Guevara. And you're talking about this spot right here when like Sting decides to just be another like go like Jeff Hardy or like the Dudley Boys, in 2000. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, I mean that's what it was, because they knew nobody in the crowd cared about. They care about some of these guys individually, Sammy, Sting, Darby Allin especially, but nobody cares about this feud. This doesn't make any sense. I saw the triple threat match they had on Rampage. I would have rather seen that match just thrown on the card, maybe add a few more bells and whistles and some spots to it, and that would have been a fine match instead of this. But you needed to put Sting on the card. I guess Matt Hardy on there to be like, hey, Jeff's coming. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, they had to fill it with these big spots because otherwise you wouldn't care because it was in that recovery spot.
Exactly.
I even saw people saying, then you could take us to the finish, that the crowd was dead.
Oh yeah,
they said, after the dog collar, everybody, it was just like they got excited for certain stuff, but man, that was the big Regal pop, and then after Regal, it was like
in pay-per-views before. You can't keep the same energy after every match. And this, seeing Sting putting, guys, burying guys, because for me it's burying. I don't. You already did what you had to do. It's not the Undertaker. I'm sorry, but like people who think that like Sting and the Undertaker are on the same level, absolutely not. When Sting was inducted in the Hall of Fame, a bunch of guys, all the wrestlers have been saying the Undertaker should be inducted by himself. That's the difference between the one and the other. And if that's at least the Undertaker is like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Sting is like, I want to keep doing this, and at the expense of like younger talent. And I don't appreciate that. And again, this was just put together to get us ready for this. Just because of that, we needed time for the crowd to get re-excited, and this match happened to be excellent. And this is what Hangman Page needed: an opponent that is going to help with him to reach to that level of being a believable champion. And I think Adam Cole did all of that, because what is Adam Cole's best feature or like best skill? He's a storyteller. In the ring, that's what he does, and I love this match for everything that happened. Aside of one thing only. Of course, the brawls between the Bucks, Red Dragon, and the Dark Order, that took me out of it. But when it was just Page and Adam Cole, it was great.
Yeah, and that's the problem with it. I mean, it's one of those things where if I make this metaphor, I know you're not going to want to. You're not. I already know the answer to this question. If you're eating like a delicious sandwich, a burger, and some nasty fly lands on it, are you going to want to eat the rest of the burger? No, you'll probably be like, ew, and throw it away, yes. And that's what the Dark Order and all them coming out there was. Yes. It was almost like you don't even want to finish the rest of the match. You don't even care. But I mean, no, this was great. And it was, like we said, it was almost like an NXT takeover match. We make that joke. We've seen other people making that joke because it was, I mean, the guys just take move after move. It was almost like a New Japan match too. You could credit it to whatever, where they just take the super kicks and the big moves and they just fight at everything.
This is a beautiful spot right there. Panama Sunrise, he counters and he does the dead eye. That's what
onto the table. About. And what I mean, Hangman, he sold that. And even, at the, like we already talked about everybody interfering and all that bullshit. But, at the end too, when he hit the big, I forget if it was a bunch of super kicks, and then he hit his knee strike, the last shot or whatever he calls it now, the boom.
Yes. Oh, the boom.
But he didn't lower his knee pad, and Hangman kicks out, and then they say, oh, maybe if he would have lowered the knee pad and everything, and we see this here on the outside. I mean, just it was one of those things where we say maybe Hangman, when he's cutting the promo or when he's standing there, he doesn't feel like a champion. But I think when you're watching these matches, you go, okay, this guy's he is the wrestling caliber and the wrestling skill of being a champion.
Yes, exactly. I agree 1,000% with that statement, because that's what I was thinking about. It's like maybe when he talks, he's just a cowboy, he's like a redneck. I don't, it's just a guy that like does not resonate as champion. But after these matches, and when you see the guy, like for example, like I love when you do like the other guys like finishers. He did the boom. He did like the whole thing. I'm not sure if he did the Panama Sunrise, but he did at least the boom, like the last shot.
Yeah, he did that, and then he did a super kick too. And
yeah,
then
he
I
did like
think,
a bunch of super kicks, and then finally after that, like he completely, this like took care of Adam Cole. He wore him down. He wore him down with every big move, and then the second time the backshot lariat, 1, 2, 3, and Hangman Page retains the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Adam Cole suffers his first loss. Everything was done to make this guy look more credible than ever, and mission accomplished in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean it was, and I'm glad at least if you did the bullshit, everybody running in, you did it, 3/4 of the way through the match, and at the end, you kind of just got to see Hangman. He stood there, he held up the belt, whatever, goes off the air. There was no beatdown afterwards. There was no nothing.
Exactly.
The only thing I thought,
really big surprises.
the only thing I thought, because Regal was good, and you touch on that. I said, okay, sometimes they like to do, because remember the last time you get two guys come out at the end of a pay per view and everything.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, that was
you think, okay, what's going to happen here? With the Dark Order, I thought maybe they would come out in the ring. And then I thought maybe we'd see like a Wyndham Rotunda or somebody like that. Maybe, because he's not going to be Bray Wyatt, whatever he would call himself. You would see that because, maybe he's going to join the Dark Order now or something. But the one thing we did see on Revolution, Eric Redbeard came. So you don't know if he's just going to have any correlation to anything.
Remember. Yes, he
came back if he's going to have anything.
Not to help out Penta and also to Pac. So, I don't know why, but they did it. Like you said, more guys at it. But the only thing that at least there's more leeway on that aspect. If you think about it, there's Ring of Honor now. Supposedly, Tony Khan is going to be in charge of booking that. There's a lot of guys that they could create two different forces. And, not even competing with the WWE. That's not the point. The point is like complete two great companies, two great shows for people to watch, and mix them up. Like you said, hey, if let's say number one contender Ring of Honor can go to like AEW and so on. So the opportunities are endless if you know how to play with that. So I think that they did good. And like you said, the fact that like the brawl outside did not interfere with the outcome of the match was the best thing, because in the end it was just in between Cole and Page. So I'm glad for that, and there you go. He's still the champion, and I cannot complain.
Yeah, I think it was one of the things where, if we had to be 100% honest and you just want to have a near perfect pay-per-view, besides, the interferences and the run-ins, maybe just cut some of the matches off. The TBS Championship, definitely that triple threat tag match, the 6-man tag that was before this, get rid of that one. And, other than that, great match. Our great matches on this AEW. That's why they only do 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year, because they load them up like this. It's not WWE where they're
it gives you time to tell the story. It gives you a lot of time, and it's not like back in the day that like you had like enough weeks to just keep building and building and building because people just watch that. No, now they have social media, they have every single outlet that they can actually. At some point, they need to pull the triggers on the match. But at least with this, it just was like I said, every single match was loaded. Every single thing in the pay-per-view was loaded. There's going to be more things to come. Like they saying that Jeff Hardy is going to be on Dynamite, so that is going to be good. So family, thank you so very much for being with us one more time. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and be with us for what is going to be Dynamite. We're going to have NXT UK also. Where else can they find us?
And guys, make sure you follow us, Rope Break, on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...